Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we're going to be continuing with our series, Dumbfounding Definitions, Dizzying Distinctions, and Diabolical Doctrines, a series sorting through some of the jargon of philosophy. In this video, we're going to be looking at what is the fallacy of wishful thinking. Now, wishful thinking is a dangerous psychological habit. It drives us to think that things we desire are true, while those that are undesirable are false, simply because we desire or don't desire them, not based on any actual justification. If not careful, this thinking can even sneak into our arguments. When someone justifies their conclusions because they want those conclusions to be true, or the world would be better if they were true, they're engaging in the fallacy of wishful thinking. Now, this fallacy often crops up in philosophy because philosophy deals with both metaphysical questions and ethical questions. Something being preferable can be a valid reason for an ethical claim. For example, someone's preference for a particular food should validly factor into what you feed them for dinner. However, it's fallacious with respect to metaphysical questions. Just because you want a particular food, it doesn't follow that we have that food available. Objective rules about what makes art beautiful might be desirable, but that desirability doesn't make beauty objective. Just because you want something to be true doesn't mean that it is true. Your desire doesn't have an impact on the truth of that statement. So, here are some examples. Kuro wants there to be an afterlife, and it would make him happy to think that his soul will never die. Therefore, there must be an afterlife. Clearly, this is fallacious simply because Kuro wants it to be the case that his soul is never going to die doesn't mean that it is the case. You might think there's other arguments for that, but that argument is an invalid one. Franco wishes that all his questions could be answered by science. Therefore, all questions can be answered by science. Once again, simply because Franco wishes it doesn't imply that it's true. Everyone would be happier if society were making moral progress. Therefore, society must be making moral progress. Nihilism is a viewpoint that makes people sad and depressed. Therefore, nihilism must be false. All of these are clearly fallacious arguments because individuals or collective desires for something to be true or false does not make that thing true or false. Just because a lot of people would be happier if it was true doesn't mean that those people being happy makes it true or justifies the claim that it is true. This fallacy can also be committed in the reverse. In other words, claiming that because someone thinks X is the case, that they also think that X should be the case. For example, Mokhtar thinks that a meteorite is about to hit Earth. Therefore, he thinks that a meteorite should hit Earth. Clearly fallacious and problematic, but surprisingly common in terms of a fallacy when someone is professing a metaphysical viewpoint that may be unpopular or disliked. If people don't like it, they say, oh, you just want it to be that way. You want it to be the case that things aren't true or that objective truth is impossible. It's not the case that you want it to be that way simply because you assert that it is that way. You might also say that Zeph thinks there's no objective right or wrong. Therefore, Zeph thinks we should live in a society without morals. Once again, this does not follow. Simply because Zeph thinks that a particular statement is the case doesn't mean that he's happy about that reality. Both are fallacious. Simply because you think that something is the case doesn't mean that you think that it's right or that you want that thing to be the case. What situations have you seen the fallacy of wishful thinking cropping up in? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, hit the notification bell if you like this video and you want to see more. And as always, watch this video and more here at Carneades.org and stay skeptical, everybody.